Okay, so some kids are having some issues logging into the PhET, and again, it probably has to do with the ability to download a Flash player on your laptop or your computer. If it's not a big deal, I would definitely recommend you to do that, especially for animation, simulation, and things like that on the internet. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to walk through it and then kind of show you. Then you can just kind of use my video in order to help you answer those questions on that worksheet. Okay. So the very first thing the question is asking you with is just basically play around with it. What are some things that you can, um, what are some things that you can change about the simulation? So, for example, here we have the simulation here. What are some things that you can observe? Well, we have a little pie chart doing something here. We could have a bar graph showing energy. We have a grid if we were interested in actually knowing the meters, how high up they are. We could also look at the speed. There's a lot of things that we can change here. And there's also, we can change the mass of the skater. Look at the guy getting bigger and larger. We can also change the type of ramp that we're looking at. Okay. There's lots of different ramps that we can use here. We can also do like a slow motion, kind of really watch it, what's going on. And that might be helpful when we're actually looking at some data. You can see the slow motion in the data. You can pause it a little bit there on that. Okay. All right, so the very first question is asking you about kinetic and potential energy. So I will leave this running for a second. And it might help if I use this graph a little bit better here. All right, so the next question is asking you a little bit about the height. So it's asking you to pick a different height. So if I pick a different height, what is happening to the kinetic and potential energy at different heights? So if I pick height at 6, which one is highest at 6? Which one's lowest? So I pick 4-ish, 3-ish, which one's highest, lowest? Okay, so it's asking you to pick different heights and tell me what is happening to the kinetic and potential energy. So the next question is asking, what is the relationship between potential energy and kinetic energy, basically, essentially the energy here. What do you notice about where potential energy is located? The next one there, you're talking about speed. And so it's asking you when we have the highest amount of speed, so maybe something like that, what's highest kinetic or potential energy? When we have the lowest amount of speed, so something like that, was higher. Okay. So when I have different types of speeds, again, you can just keep pausing it like I am here. And in order to help you answer the question for question number 4. Okay. So question number 5 is taking a look at the total energy bar. What do you notice happening at different heights of the activity here? It is actually also asking you to change some stuff about the track. What do you notice about the total energy with the track? No matter which track I use, what do you notice about the total energy? We could change this a little bit too. We could also add some friction in there. Okay, and let's say we bring back our pie graph here. Let's say we have lots of friction. What do you notice about the energy there? So this is more like a real world situation here. If we change this, okay. So we have a little bit of friction, say just air friction. Again, when you rub your hands together, friction is creating heat. And the more friction you get, the more heat you're going to create, right? So a lot of different things that you can change about that. You can also actually make a different one here. Again, what are some changes that you can make about your graph? What happened to your total energy when you do those type of things? So again, we'll look at total energy. What happened when you make a custom graph? Right. Maybe I have no friction on there. Oh. what happened to the total energy. All right, and then number 6 is just simply asking you. Number 6 is just simply asking you a little bit about what you think is the relationship between kinetic and potential energy on there. So again, if you are not able to use the actual simulation, no worries. It's okay. Hopefully this video will help you out. Again, it's pretty quick. It's pretty fast. Pause my video if you need it different places in order to kind of get the information you need in order to answer the question. All right. Hopefully that helped. And if you have any other questions about the activity, just feel free to email me and let me know.